What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a show and tell episode. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Just been busy, honestly. A lot of stuff going on, but wanted to get a podcast episode out this month. This topic, we're going to be talking about community college and university college. So I got like 3 years of experience in community college, and then currently going into my second year for a CSU, which is kind of like a university. For that school, you typically spend 4 years, kind of like a university, but it is a little bit cheaper. Anyway, it's going to be a little bit confusing, but just wanted to give you some experience and my thoughts on community college, and then how it was like going into a 4-year school typically. So yeah. With community college, you would have class sizes about like 20 to 30 for your usual classes. The highest I've seen is like 50, but that's only if it's like a lab or if it's a science class. It really varies on what kind of class it is, but typically 20 to 30, highest 50. For university, I've heard it can go up to about 100 to 200, and you would have like 50 for every class or 30. I'm not really too sure on the smaller classes, but highest I've seen is 200, 100. And then with community college, you have cheaper classes, pretty much the same. You're getting the same college education, but with community college it is cheaper. Whereas like UC, it's going to be a little bit more pricier. But I know some would argue that you actually get more money with your university classes compared to community college because better professors, or in some cases. But it really just depends on what the school has and what they offer. Looking into it, you want to also figure out from other people's experience what kind of university you want to attend. If the professors are really good and the knowledge they give is worth the money, then I'd say go for it. But typically community college is cheaper if you're trying to go for that route and save a little bit more money. You're kind of almost getting the same education. And then also with community college, the only downside is they don't offer as many majors compared to universities. Universities do have a little bit more variety, more specific majors or specific concentrations that you want to go into. So if you're trying to go into business in general, community college has that, university has that. But if you're trying to go into, let's say, social media marketing, then maybe a university might be better because they have that specific field ready. Some community colleges might have that, but community college has limited amount of majors and topics that you want to get into. And then also with community college, nice thing about it is you'd spend almost around 2 to 3 years, really depends on what you're going into. But let's say you're trying to get into a university, I would recommend the community college route first because you are, one, saving a lot of money, and two, it is easier to transfer to a university after you've gone into a community college route. Because when you're in university, your first year or two, you would be taking the same classes like English, history, math, whatever it may be. And that's kind of like the same thing you do in community college. So if you're going that route, community college, you're basically getting the same classes that you have to take in university, but you're just getting a cheaper price. And, when I was in community college, I was able to transfer easier to a 4-year afterwards because the GPA requirement isn't as strict, and also you've kind of got already most of your classes, your lower division classes already done, and then you're ready to transition to your specific area concentration. And also with community college, most people would typically commute because it is easy to commute in terms of like traveling, whereas university, some schools are secluded, so you probably have to stay in campus or live on a dorm, And also, if you're trying to go into the UC, you might have to commute longer. But if you want that college experience, if you want to live on campus, UC is good, but also just keep in mind the price, because if you're in state, it is cheaper than out-of-state tuition. Also, housing, you got to look at the area that the school is in. If it's an SF, it might be hard to find housing, so just keep in mind the schools that you're choosing and like the area that it's around. Some schools have like grocery stores, some food courts nearby. Really depends on the location that you're at. That's pretty much all the things that I can think of for community college and university. I mean, whichever route you go for, I'd say as long as you know what you want to major, and it's okay to make changes, just as long as you kind of have an idea instead of trying to realize it now, because you're spending a lot of money in university. So like if you're unsure, basically my advice is, if you're undecided on what you want to major in, I'd say just spend 2 years in community college. You're saving money and it's easier to change majors, and you don't have to take a whole bunch of classes. And if you do know what you want to study, then university or community college is good for you. If you want that campus life, you can go that UC route. Just keep in mind the price. Whatever it may be, honestly, in the end, you want to just enjoy the college experience and getting that education that you want in order to find your career that you want. So basically that's pretty much it. Just whatever makes you enjoy, because it is your life, and you also do want to set yourself up for the future. That was a quick little rant. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Hopefully I get another one out this month. Stay tuned for that. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.